are Locked On Sun Devils, your daily podcast on the Arizona State Sun Devils, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome back to the Locked On Sun Devils podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. My name is Richie Bradshaw, and I will be your guide for everything Arizona State Sun Devils. Thank you guys so much for making us your first listen of the day. And a shout out to my everydayers who are here every day. Don't forget, wherever you're getting your podcast, to hit like and subscribe and turn on those notifications so you get an update whenever we post new content, and stay in touch with that content by following me on Twitter at RichieBrads36 and the podcast at LO_Sun Devils. This is going to be a quicker episode than what we normally do. Tomorrow will be another episode, so on Saturday, breaking down Thursday and Friday's practices for you guys. But the reason why there was not a podcast this morning is because I had a feeling this was going to happen, and I wanted to give you guys my raw reaction the moment I was able to get home from work and talk about this. So let's talk about it. You know, we literally earlier this week talked about the possibility of joining the Big 12 and all the great things that it could do for Arizona State University. And in the grand scheme of things, this is such a great thing for Arizona State for a multitude of reasons. You've got good media rights and security with what you're looking for that the Pac-12 couldn't provide you. You are taking a step up in your competition level. Now, don't get me wrong. You look at the Big 12 right now, there's a lot of mediocre to solid teams. There's no Alabama, there's no Ohio State, there's no Clemson. And that's not a bad thing, because it means that Arizona State would be able to assert itself as one of the top teams in the conference. You look right now at the grand scheme of things, if you want to include Utah, who also applied for joining the Big 12. If you include Utah, it's Utah, TCU, Baylor, Oklahoma State, Cincinnati, UCF, potentially Texas Tech. There's a lot of teams. There's just those to me are the big teams. And if I'm missing one, my apologies. There are going to be 16 or 18 teams in the Big 12. I'm not going to list all of them right here. There's a lot of really quality teams. There's just not that one team that's at the pinnacle of the top. It's probably Utah if they are joining the Big 12. But this gives Arizona State an opportunity to place itself among the best of the best in that conference and to put itself at that pinnacle and have that respect and be able to be one of the faces of the conference. You know, there was that talk when USC and UCLA were leaving the Pac-12 when it was supposed to stay together, that Arizona State had an opportunity to put itself towards the top there with the Oregons, the Washingtons, the Utahs of the world. Arizona State could have put itself up there. They're going to get that chance to do it. It's just going to be in a different conference now. So there's a lot of benefits for the way Arizona State is going to be able to move forward in terms of like broadcasting itself as a football team. This also does a lot of really good for you in terms of recruiting. You're going to be able to get out to Texas a lot more common now. Texas Tech, TCU, Baylor. I'm sure there's other Texas teams there that I'm forgetting about. There's a lot of opportunity in the state of Texas to travel out there, showcase yourself to the Texas kids that we just want to be able to pull here, continue that hashtag Texas to Tempe pipeline that's starting to get established here. This gives you that opportunity. It also helps you get out to the Midwest in general. You know, you get really close to Louisiana, which has some really good prospects. UCF is in Florida. You can broadcast yourself down there. It just opens up different avenues for you. And I don't even think it necessarily closes the door on California anymore. Like, sure, you're not going to be going to Cali for games every year, like when you're playing USC, UCLA, Stanford, and Cal, but you are still neighbors to it. Like, it's right there for you. It's not necessarily out of the realm of possibilities for you to, like, it doesn't just go away, right? It's still going to be a thing. It's still going to be around. But this gives you a better opportunity for those Texas kids. It gives you a better opportunity to audition yourself, show that you're going to be a program that's going to be good for years to come, and that these kids should come out and join Arizona State University and be a part of that team and be a part of the change. There's a lot more positives than there are negatives here. And honestly, if I really sat here and thought about it, I'm sure I could find some negatives to poke some holes into it, but I truly feel like I would be grasping at straws if I were to try and do that. So I'm not going to really focus on doing that, at least in this point in time. That might be something that we visit down the road, is whether or not this could blow up in their face. But in the meantime, this is a very, very good thing for Arizona State Sun Devils and the university as a whole for their football program. These days, every potential new hire can be a high-stakes wager for your small business. You want to be 100% certain that you have access to the best qualified candidates available. That's why you need to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs helps find the right people for your team faster and for free. And it's never been more important to get the right people in, especially when you can go to LinkedIn Jobs and set up your posting in minutes. Once you do that, add your job in the purple hashtag hiring frame to your LinkedIn profile to spread the word that you're hiring. Simple tools like screening questions make it easy to focus on the right candidates with just the right skills and the right experience, so you can quickly prioritize who you'd like to interview and hire. You can do it so easily and get that right member to have that positive and measurable impact on your business. It's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering quality hires versus leading competitors. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the qualified candidates you want to talk to faster. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. That's linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. Post your job for free. Terms and conditions will apply. For a championship team, it's all about making sure every player is a perfect fit. It's why when it comes to your vehicle, every part needs to fit just right. So next time you need parts or accessories, head to eBay Motors. With eBay Guaranteed Fit, you can be sure every part you need fits right the first time around. Just add your ride to My Garage. Look for the green check to know that the part will fit or your money back. Because just like in sports, confidence is the name of the game when you shop on eBay Motors. And with over 122 million parts to choose from, you'll be back in the game in no time. After all, it's easy to bring home a win when the right parts are guaranteed. Get the right parts, the right fit, and the right prices on ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. eBay Guaranteed Fit, only available to U.S. customers. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. All right. So, how do we get to this point? We have really dragged our feet, if we're being honest, man. Like, this has not been the easiest path to the Big 12 whatsoever. And it's been very frustrating to get to that point. So, you have Michael Crow, who just has, like I said, he's dragged his feet, and he really has not put out any effort for Arizona State to try and get here. And it felt like it took some action from the Arizona Board of Regents, and it took some action from the other Pac-12 teams to want to leave the conference, not the program, leave the conference, because earlier today, Oregon and Washington announced that they were going to be joining the Big 12. Within hours, Arizona State and Utah announced that they're going to be putting in a bid to join the Big 12 as well. It's not guaranteed. I'll go ahead and say that it's not guaranteed. It's an application, but it's going to happen. There's no way that the Big 12 will pass up an opportunity to get both Arizona schools and to get the back-to-back Pac-12 champion Utah Utes into their conference. They're coming. It's just part of the package deal for getting those four corner schools. It's a very good thing for them. It's just frustrating how long it took to get here and how much kicking and screaming it seemingly took to get Michael Crow to get to this point. Like, he's just so passive, and you love him for what he does for for academics, but you just hate him. You just hate him for his lack of interest in the athletics, which is what is going to pour so much money into your different programs. It's so important to have good athletic programs. And Arizona State has over 20 different sports. I want to say it's 26. They've got so many different programs that could generate so much interest to your school. You could shoot up to being one of the most highest number of enrollees in the country. You're already one of the top, I would imagine, but you could be top one. Arizona's a destination place. Like it truly is. It's great weather for 8 months out of the year. It's not far away from Mexico. It's not far away from California. It's not far away from Vegas. It's central to a lot of stuff. You go into the valley, you can escape up to Flagstaff. It's a 2-hour drive to get out of the heat. You've got different attractions. Like there's a lot of draw to the state of Arizona. And you could use so much of that to your advantage if you just wanted to promote your athletic programs more than what you're doing. Because Arizona State, I'm not the only person who says this. It's not just in the state of Arizona that people say this. It's a sleeping giant. There's so much potential here for Arizona State to just be one of the best schools in the entire country. Maybe this is what it finally needs to get to that point. Will it be? Who knows? Because Michael Crow is still in charge. And as long as Michael Crow is in charge, I feel like this university and these programs are never going to get to where they should be. But who knows? Maybe a move to the Big 12 could be what this program, what this university needs to get over the hump for football. If they do end up joining for like across all sports, that could really help your basketball team too. That's going to be a very good basketball conference. They could potentially help your baseball team. It's a very good baseball conference. Like there's just a lot of really good competition that the Big 12 brings to you. There's too many benefits and too many upsides to not look at this as an absolute win. Like I feel like you're just splitting hairs. Again, I'll probably revisit this at some point in time when there's extra time to be able to go over it, because right now we're just so jam-packed with training camp and everything. I would love to revisit this. Maybe it's even next off season, honestly. But when I get time to be able to break down the positives and the negatives, I'm just curious how many negatives I'm going to have. It just feels like there's too many very good things that are going to happen to Arizona State University athletics because you're joining the program or the conference. I just did that again. Because they're joining the conference. There's just too many good things here to ruin any kind of momentum, any kind of positivity that you might have. There's too much. And I'm really excited. And I hope that you guys are too. And I hope that you guys are able to understand the gravity of how big this is for Arizona State University. If the Pac-12 had never gotten to the point that it got to, we wouldn't have to worry about getting to a new conference. But the hand we were dealt, it was something that needed to happen. And although it's not the way we wanted it to happen, it still happened. And at the end of the day, that's all that we care about. So I want to know what you guys think about joining the Big 12 Conference. Drop a comment on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, you can always hit me up on Twitter/X as well. You can find me at Richie Brads 36 and the podcast at LO_Sun Devils. But I thank you guys for tuning in. I thank you guys for this journey. You guys have blown up my previous Big 12 video. I know that you guys are going to tune in for this one too. So I thank you so much for tuning in. I thank you guys for this platform and this opportunity to broadcast my excitement for joining the Big 12. I only hope that you guys are excited as well. I will be back to talk to you guys tomorrow about Thursday and Friday's training camps.